Looks like we got a new friend! Looks like we got a new friend!
everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Warhammer 40k Dark Heresy 2 Hidden Masters, entitled Change, mostly because I've broken the campaign. Or as Sheepy puts it, not broken it, but just turned it on its head. Without changing direction.
Yeah. And I made it work. I put wheels on that.
Yep. Like, Sheepy's essentially, I think, becoming the 40k Pimp My Ride expert. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Before we go around and say hello to everyone, please check out the opening links, which are currently being spammed in the chat by my bot. You can find all of our social links there, places you can go to support us online. Also, sponsor information. Big thank you to Magehand Press and Bird and the Storm Publishing, who make this all possible. And also, there's a whole bunch of websites where you can get 10 to 15% discount. Please go and check those out too. I haven't updated the tweet yet, but I'll do that as we go round. In fact, Sheepy, if I can hand over to you to introduce everyone, that would be fantastic.
I'm introducing everyone? Okay.
Yeah, because I forgot to do the tweet, so I need to go and do that quickly.
No, that was a tweet.
Yeah, but I haven't done any of the commands or anything.
Oh, okay. Hello everyone. I don't usually do this, so I'm Sheepdog. You can find me in places if you look for me. And let's go on to our first player of today, Raven. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Raven. I do a bunch of different stuff. I'm on Twitter, RAVYN_the. And I'm also here on Twitch, RAVVYN. So I stream games, tabletop games. I write tabletop systems and games and things like that. I kind of do a little bit of everything.
Awesome. And yes, we'll go to our next other player who is also here today, Alyssa.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. You can find me on Twitter at Origami Shuriken. I run 2 games of D&D a week at home. I don't usually stream it, but I'll post play-by-plays, and I do artwork and various other things, and occasionally join in other people's streams. So I'm excited to delve into a new system today.
You chose the perfect time to do it.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm Scratticus. You might know me from this channel. I play Jim Best, Desperado, who may or may not be a heretic.
I mean, okay, if that's how you would like to describe it.
We'll see how it goes.
Uh-huh.
Last week's recap, let's see. We got in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
It might have been a whole session of us being chased by demons.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jim maybe not making the best decisions. There might have been intervention from the are they called the Grey Guards? Is that right?
Grey Knights.
The Grey Knights. There we go. The Grey Knights, who are like super Warhammer 40k demon hunters. And just before they landed, Jim might have summoned a demon to essentially live, because it very much looked like we were going to die. I panicked. I summoned a demon. We've all been there. You're at a party. Things get out of hand. You know, you start summoning demons in a blind hope that your friend won't get alcohol poisoning. It happens, you know? We've all been there. Don't pretend you haven't been there. Come on.
Uh-huh. Oh, Jim. From 2d10.
Sure thing. 6 and a 3.
Take 9 corruption points.
Ooh. I think this is the first time I've taken corruption points.
You haven't done anything particularly corruptive up until right now, when you laid down the corruptive hammer, so to speak.
Yay!
Yeah. So that's a layover from last episode where you summoned a demon and also appealed directly to Chaos God to save you. Which I think it needs to be, it can't be understated that Jim appealed to Chaos to save him, tried to summon a demon, and failed with his willpower roll, and then decided to re-roll it to make it happen. I just wanted to put that there.
That might have happened. I mean, you know, but you've got them re-rolls. You've got to use them, right? I mean...
Sure. What is your corruption at?
9. That is a total of 9.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm sure that's fine. Yeah. So to delve into the other side a little bit, because I feel like we may be doing that in the future as well. We have a 3-headed lizard bird demon. So this is core. Oh, I need the actual, yeah. It's Hyok Kai is how it's said, but if you'd like to adjust that slightly to how you say the name, that's perfectly fine. Core is a herald of Tzeentch. Now, the heralds of Tzeentch are messengers, agents. Basically, very often they're sent off to manipulate, to do things behind the scenes, to quite often corrupt and tempt humans, like important humans who might have a overarching effect on fate and the way things are going. Core was specifically sent last episode to come in to this area of space and send this unsuspecting inquisitorial agent off on his path. There was a little bit of time where this agent gave. Sorry, I don't know. Is Core she or her? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave her a little bit of sass, and so Core decided, let's split these demons up a little bit. Let's create a few more, and then there was a complication as well, which created even more, and it ended up with basically you drove the inquisitorial agents into a corner with your demons, and possibly according to your plan, he appealed to Tzeentch to save him, and you were brought back into the area to answer his call. I will say, for your character specifically, this wasn't the plan that you were given, so you will be going a little bit off your own kind of initiative for this. The basics of what we're going to come in on is a ruined house with the hated enemy of your demons of Tzeentch, the Grey Knight Space Marines, outside, and the only thing that really you can do is call upon a friend, which involves you giving this knife that you have to Jim and getting him to kind of break open reality with it. And I think, yeah, we'll save that for a moment. So, yes, we come in on, I think for the sake of it, the Grey Knights aren't aware of your existence. They're going to be doing stuff outside, but they're not going to go away. So we'll come in on both of you in this kind of ruined, dilapidated house, a bit of a ways away from where the Space Marines are, enough so that you can have a conversation and talk and everything. Jim.
Oh, hi!
You're successful, buddy. You summoned a demon. There's been explosions and shooting outside and shouting. You're not exactly sure what happened. Core, you would know that there are Space Marines who are specifically demon hunters outside.
Well, Jim's face is mostly a look of horror. He wasn't sure this would work. Even with a reroll, he knew his willpower was awful. He's mostly sort
Would you like a quick description? I know you as a character, as a player, know what you're looking at, but would you like a quick description of Core? I can.
Yeah, sure. I've just posted our command for today for what our players will be looking like.
Yeah.
Um.
But for the video and everything.
Yeah, I would love that.
Core, would you like to do the description? I'm perfectly happy doing it myself if you'd prefer.
You can do it.
Okay. So what you're faced with is a probably about 7 foot tall mix of bird and lizard. You've got the beak, you've got like the long elongated kind of flamingo neck, but the actual skin is scaly and reptilian. You have 3 heads, all with like beaks and kind of glowing blue eyes. There's like a small amount of shroud, kind of cloaked around her, and like ornate metal, kind of like strangely shimmering golden metal, like helmets and stuff. Got 3 heads, 3 arms, and she is currently and a tail, of course. She is currently standing upon this really strange, like shimmering disc that's just floating in the air.
Ooh, and this is the one I saw on the battlefield, right?
Looks slightly different, but yeah.
Okay. That worked. Hi. Should I prostrate myself or something?
That won't be necessary.
Thank God. So save me, please.
Why should I do that?
Good question. I don't want to die. I'm a heretic hunter. This is heresy I'm doing right now. This is pretty heretical. You could say this is the heresy.
Indeed.
I could be a valuable asset to heresy.
You are in rather an awkward position, aren't you?
You could say that, yes. Not a position I'm used to, at least.
Well, since you've been so persistent and I've come all this way, I suppose I could see what I can do to get you out of this predicament. But I'm going to need you to do something for me.
Hey, my job role is pretty much do things I don't understand for people I don't really know. Not much is changing for me there.
Very well. And I will show him the knife.
So the demon, she pulls out from behind her back just this long, ornate, bladed knife that's like obsidian colored and like hooked and curved. It's got like small little jagged edges on it even. It almost looks like stone, but it's got to be metal by how thin it is. Oh, and it's also covered in a small like film of just this kind of like dark smoke.
Okay. What exactly do I do with this?
I need you to break reality for me. If I'm going to help you, I need you to help me. I'm going to need a little bit of backup.
Okay. Sure.
You're going to open the door.
Right, yeah. Okay, I can do that. Open the door, how hard can it be?
And I'll hand him the blade.
Take it.
I take it.
Roll me a willpower.
I fail.
Would you like to reroll?
Yes. I fail worse.
Roll me.
I'll be a 1.
And another one.
That'll be a 10.
Take 11 points of corruption.
Oh, boy, oh boy. Okay, that takes me up to 20 corruption.
Yep. And your hand, this kind of like weird dark smoke, like works its way onto your hand, and then slightly up your wrist. Have you given yourself over to chaos? I don't think you even know which chaos god this is.
I don't know which chaos god this is, no. I have no idea, but in panic for my life, not realizing that the Grey Knights have turned up outside, am indeed giving myself up to whoever will take me.
Okay. Core, as this like dark smoke like drifts up his arm slightly, one of your heads like kind of cranes down, and you just kind of, you can hear this really kind of guttural, almost lizard-like muttering. You don't know the language. And on your wrist, a kind of purple spot forms, like a tattoo, except for it, as far as you can tell, it's just your skin. You know, it's just changed color. And then this kind of like wavy half moon appears around the circle. Also kind of purpley blue. I don't know if you have anything that you can roll for this to tell what this is, to be honest, but
Would underworld lore help me in this scenario?
at a -20.
Do you know what? I'll take it. I don't think I've actually been able to use.
I think technically you can do it, but it's not very likely.
I fail by 9 degrees.
That's a weird symbol, isn't it? Yeah, no. You have no idea. And Core, you'll be aware that this marks him as an aspirant, which is something. It's something a bit more important than, like, usually when you recruit someone, when you kind of manipulate someone into joining, and kind of becoming a cultist or a servant of Siege, they're just generally, you know, pawns, this kind of thing. An aspirant is someone who has the potential to become a powerful force for Siege. So in your head, like, your all three of your heads are completely, you know, blank faced, no kind of like notification of this, but you are thinking to yourself, this could get me some acknowledgement, some more power, and yeah. So you've made a good recruitment here. Jim.
Okay. Cool tattoo. I guess I wear long sleeves from now on, right?
That is up to you.
Selena would probably believe I got us drunk somewhere. Does this mark me as a heretic?
It does.
Don't show the Inquisition, okay.
You
So-
knew what you were signing up for.
More than usual, yeah, to be fair. So I just go out there and start attacking people with the knife?
I'm assuming I would know what to tell him, how to use it.
He needs to, with the intention of, it's kind of like summoning a demon, but it's more like with the intention of using the knife how it's supposed to be used. He has to stab the air and then rip it open.
Okay. Okay, I'll get right on that. Is there anything else? Perhaps, your name, Jim Best. Just Desperado.
I am Ko Hyokai.
Kahoy Hyokai. Got it. You like my handler now or something? Should I report into you when I need, I don't know, information or something?
Indeed.
All right. Good. All right. I'm familiar with that. Good. Great. This will be just like working for the Inquisition. Kind of.
Yes. We also have a chain of command.
Okay. I kind of thought you were all just, you know, like demons, just like, bah. Okay. Let's go out the door, stab the air, rend a hole in humanity. Got it. No problem.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Okay. All right. I'll get right to it then. I'll see you soon. Are you coming with me? Are you staying here?
So I will be watching. I can't let my new asset fall into the wrong hands now, can I?
No, indeed. No, indeed. Okay, let's do it. And Jim will turn, face the door, sort of like, you know, the getting ready to quick draw. One hand over a pistol, knife in left hand. Wish me luck. And I'll go outside.
Okay, we'll get to that momentarily. Incidentally, Core, just for your reference to understand Tzeentch a little bit more, because Tzeentch is all about fate and manipulation, you don't really believe in luck. You believe that, you know, anytime a human is like, oh, what bad luck, it's basically like, I had something to do with that, mwahahaha, kind of thing. So, while he is moving out, you're very aware of what's about to happen because you know who's coming. A good friend of yours and someone who has rent entire worlds asunder before. You also know that there's a few Space Marines outside who specifically hunt demons. Would you like to use one of your abilities to bring up some extra reinforcements?
I would.
Okay. So, believe it is. Yeah. So, if you give me a willpower roll plus 20. So if you don't know to roll on this, if you just click willpower in the characteristics, and then type 20 in the input value modifier. Yeah, okay. All right, so once Jim has left, you hear him kind of walking off a little bit. You step down off your disc. Your disc kind of like, without you on it, it kind of like lowers down a little bit and then shifts off to the side, just waiting. The control you have over it is mental, so if you want to call it back, you can always just be like, you know, it's a little bit like the flying Nimbus in Dragon Ball Z. And you get about to bringing in some reinforcements for yourself. You basically shove two of your heads, like, kind of snake down and then to the sides, and then like shimmer slightly as they disappear. Just the head part, the neck's still in reality. And then you push your hands out through into the immaterium, and they disappear too. And then you just yank them in, and this kind of like strange small tear happens on both sides as you pull through these like kind of pink distorted hands, and you just start pulling out a couple of horrors, which is the official name for the kind of like minions that you use for Tzeentch. They're basically like multi-mouthed bowl, like kind of like a meld of flesh, you know, like mound of flesh, and they've got arms and claws and feet and all that kind of thing. Very pink, pink purple is the colors of Tzeentch, with a little bit of blue. And you roll me, what did you succeed by? That's 5 degrees of success. Roll me a d5. Four. Okay. You pull through 2 of these demons, and then they kind of are there, like chittering, like multiple mouths moving and pulsating, and then you basically like extend your hands. You have 3 arms and hands, by the way. you extend two of your hands and just slice your claws across their necks. They start bleeding, like fall down, and then you focus your power again and split them, and they just kind of like slide apart and reform their flesh, and then stand up, and there are four of them, all kind of chittering and a little bit of like dark, smoky essence like coming off them, and ready to serve you. Again, this is kind of mental. It's not exactly telepathy, but you can control them very easily. You know, there's no real worry there. The only time they go out of control is if you leave and don't leave them with any instructions or anything, which you've done in the past. There have been times when you've gone to a human world, summoned a few of these, and just toddled off because you have other more important things to do than, you know, kill some humans. So yeah, you'll basically, if you want, when everything starts going how I can only assume it's gonna go, you can basically bust out the front of this house and join in. Jim, as you walk out the door, you see some. I mean, you'll know technically the basics of who these guys are. You see some Space Marines, like down the, probably about 30, 40, maybe like 50, 60 meters away. Like, so quite a fair ways away down the kind of set of ruins and everything.
Have they seen me?
No. Currently, they seem to have just have sent someone away with an escort. So there's 4 of them.
Okay, there's 4 of them. Are they facing towards me?
No, they're currently like 2 of them are in conversation. One of them doesn't have a helmet and is like has more like, you know, just like a bare head. It's bald and very kind of gruff, lots of scars. You could probably guess that this guy's in charge because he seems to be giving orders from what you can tell. There's another 2 who are a little ways off, like picking through a couple of houses. The ruined houses, obviously, yeah. So,
would you say this is a good position to flank them from if I was thinking military-mindedly?
Roll me an... Oof, that's rough. Roll me an intelligence.
Oof, that is rough.
Yeah.
I am not smart.
It's true. You're not sure. Roll me, for this, I think it will be... Oh, you still haven't leveled it up. Roll me a scrutiny.
Why would I level up the most used skill
Right?
in the campaign? Why would I do that? I fail by 5 degrees.
Yeah, you do. I was like, could I make this sleight of hand? There's no way to make this sleight of hand. You have heard stories of Space Marines. They are like gods to a standard Imperial citizen. They are superhuman, super fast, super agile. There's no sneaking up on them. There's no tricking them. There's no lying to them. This is all of things that you've been taught.
So essentially, when I look at these 4 people, I see a scenario just as bad as the demons just moments before.
Yeah. Yeah. And having summoned a demon and the vague things you've heard about Space Marines, you're pretty sure that if they find out, they'll probably kill... Well, they'll definitely kill you. They'll definitely kill anyone you've spoken to in the last, like, month or so at least.
Yeah.
And they may destroy this entire planet.
Which honestly is what I recommended in the first place. Just destroy the planet and then none of this mess would have happened.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that case, I will take my knife. I will holster my gun.
Okay.
Put my right hand behind the knife, and with the intention to push it through reality, as much as I can grasp hold of that concept, I will try and force the knife through reality.
You push the knife forward, and the second you do, it slips in between the air. And this, like, when you've pushed it in, it doesn't look like the blade disappears.
Okay. So I'll make a big tear one way, and then hack in again and make a big tear the other way, like making a cross, and just try and push the air. How does this work?
So after you make the second cross, a giant, probably about the size of your torso, like blue. It's very slightly. It looks like plumage, but at the same time, it's not feathers. If you understand what I mean. This hand just like reaches and grabs this like side of what you've cut and just starts like tearing it up.
Oh.
And I'm gonna have to roll something here, I think, because this is okay, so let's roll. That's unfortunate for you guys. not you guys. That's unfortunate for the Grey Knights. Okay. So, yeah, let's drop back a minute or so where, on a demon world, a fair ways away, Zephic was waiting around. You know, maybe toying with a few lesser demons, throwing them around, or just reading up on a few of the more interesting books. And this slash comes through near you, and you realize it's time for you to get to work again. Kor has given the knife to another human and instructed that you are needed somewhere. So you stand up, kind of shake yourself down. You're about, I'd say probably about anywhere from like 17 to 20 feet tall. Your wingspan is large, and you have like these big blue wings with like kind of almost like fingers with claws on the top of them as well. You have this like really long ornate staff, which is something gifted to you by the Dark God Zinch. You are effectively one of the elite, almost like demigods, I guess is a good way to describe you, of the Chaos God Zinch. When there is a need to fight powerful foes, to destroy worlds, you are one of his kind of, you're one of his right hands, you know, you're one of his lieutenants almost. Okay. And you reach your hand forward, grip this like tear in reality, and just kind of rip it up. You know, the knife has done a little bit of the work, but your own strength and everything just means you can just rip this tear in reality wider so that you can step through. Like, you fold your wings and they wrap around the front of you, and you step through. And as you step through, like this really thick, dark smoke comes through with you. Your presence in the kind of more material world is very distorting. One of the things you will notice, Jim, is that items of clothing and the grass are changing colors. Like they're going prismatic, and they'll go like blue and then green and then purple. Like your hair, your clothes are all shifting colors. And give me a willpower roll, Jim, as you see this massive behemoth of a bird step through.
I fail.
You do fail. I'm going to say for this one, take 1 corruption point. You are presented, and Zephic, are you happy stepping out like this in the color, like kind of the kind of light blue? Like you are basically a Lord of Change. You can be whatever color you'd like to be.
Okay. I kind of imagine Zephic kind of coming through with something of a maniacal laughter. Probably changing into rainbow colors just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
And kind of see if I can do this without spiking my microphone. Kind of just doing a... Ooh, this looks like fun.
And as you say that, you shake down your entire body, and you're like kind of like light blue, almost light purple plumage just shifts into like this multi-colored, very iridescent plumage, which kind of settles down on you as you come through, and then like the shifting smoke that's come out with you also shifts to be like, it's still black and it's still dark, but like when lightning is in the clouds, there's like little explosions of like multicolored light inside the shadows as well. And you see in front of you this squad of hated space marines. You fought them before. You fought these specific ones before. You've probably even on occasion been banished by them before. One of the things about demons is they do die, but very often when they take too much damage or when they're pushed too far, they do shift back into the immaterium. So, yeah, you know these guys, and you've fought them before, killed them, they've banished you. You know, you've got a long history. And Jim, I'm going to tell you this: from that willpower roll, this is the most beautiful power. Like, those space marines are nothing compared to what you see before you now. This is almost like meeting the God Emperor. And the only thing I'll tell you is you're going to have to prostrate yourself in some way.
Yeah, I'll
Although you can re-roll if you like, just FYI.
Perhaps I will re-roll in some way. Just because I have not a plan,
Okay.
but an idea. Wow.
You rolled the same thing, bud.
Wow. Well, it's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Yeah.
Jim just sort of like sinks to his knees,
Mm.
kind of like half prostrating, but half hiding, I guess. Because whilst this is very beautiful, even the Emperor God would also be very terrifying. So
There is an aspect of terrifying to it as well, definitely.
yeah, I'll just sink to my knees and kind of look over at the Grey Knights and kind of maybe mouth, "Oops."
I assume Zephic sees this This mouthing of oops. Zephic's just gonna be like, oops is right.
Yeah. I don't know how to do this. How does one?
You could present your tattoo.
Yeah, that'll do it. Look, I got a thing from your friend, Kahal Yokai.
Oh, you know Caw! Goody.
And the tattoo is a symbol of Tzeentch. And actually marks him as an aspirant, which is a step up from the usual. Which is possibly why he's not quivering in fear with his brain. Like, that quite often happens, like, when a human meets you. Even if they're cultists for Tzeentch, very often they will just crack and go completely insane. So it's vaguely impressive in a small way that he hasn't done that.
Okay. Well, Zephic will kind of look down at him and see the tattoo, and upon hearing that calls around, we'll go, oh, okay, well, I suppose I won't eat you then, since you have that. Where is my good buddy Caw?
I left him back in the house back there.
I see, and I've been summoned here to take care of these pesky human things, I presume, yes?
I guess that's the case, yeah.
Well, good. It's been a while since I've had a good tussle.
Right. Do you need help?
At that, Zephic's just kind of laugh, as if Jim has just said something adorably amusing, and she'll sort of shake her head like this, very bird-like, and go, "Oh, that's adorable. No, I'm quite fine."
Would you like to, so the Space Marines currently are probably about, at this point, probably about 75 meters in like a loose formation. They're like slowly moving away, looking in between houses. So they haven't seen you. They failed on their sinus science so badly it's ridiculous. So they're completely unaware.
Bird.
Would you like to give basically start combat, but also give a example of your power?
Yeah, you mentioned that Zephic has some sort of mind control ability, right?
Yes, you have Puppet Master, which is it's opposed willpower. You take a -10, and the enemy opposes it with their willpower.
Okay. Is it a single target, or can it target multiple people at once?
It would be a single target, yes.
Okay. I think what Zephic would like to do, just as an opening move, is use that to make the either the leader or just the person most in front of everybody else start punching themselves in the face.
Okay. All right. So, if you roll your willpower with a -10, which is still quite ridiculous, just so everyone knows.
I think this is the right button. Modifier -10. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does seem rather high.
That is so that's a failure of 2 degrees. It's basically a crit failure. Would you like to re-roll that? Use a fate point?
Let's see. Sure.
Okay.
So it's willpower and then -10, right?
Yeah. There you go. Okay,
Alright.
so this guy is going to roll his willpower. Okay. Both succeeded. He succeeded a little bit better. So, you lower your staff. It's like, it's basically, I believe it's like it's a very long staff, almost as big as you, just a little bit smaller. And it's got like these long golden rings on it that jingle as you move it. It also has a book on it, like on a little stand. And the entire staff, but the book very specifically, is a focus for your power. And you like push it down and point it towards this squad of Marines, and like focus your power. The explosions in the smoke, like reeling off you, get a little more intense, but these humans specifically are quite strong in the mind, so you can't find a way in. And I'm just gonna see how this specific guy does, and see if he notices this one. He does. Okay, so the Grey Knight at the front, kind of, he gets this, like, he just stops and freezes, like completely still. The others instantly also stop, and they're like immediately alert for something going on. And there's a second where he kind of is moving slightly slowly, and it's almost like he's fighting something off. And then you feel your power like slip away from him. He resists your kind of compulsion to just puppet him as your kind of play toy. And immediately, like, he reacts and turns around and shouts, "Demon!" And the others like spin round and start reacting. Let's roll initiative. So initiative is 1d10 plus your agility bonus, which is the 10-digit in. So if it's if you have 46 agility, it would be +4.
All right. Is it the AG button underneath initiative, or the custom button?
If you just roll 1d10 plus, let me have a look at your sheet, because you have to like put a token in, and yeah. So you can roll 1d10 plus 7. That's right. Zephic has over 70 agility.
Oh! And you rolled a 10?
And you rolled a 10. Jim, you can roll your...
Yeah. Is that... Hang on, that doesn't seem right. Did I roll a 1? No, hang on.
2, and then just
there we
add...
go. There we go. I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah. But you still went better than the Grey Knights, because they rolled a 1. So, Zephic, you're up first again. What would you like to do? If you'd like any advice, by the way, on powers and that, I'm perfectly happy to assist.
Let's see. Just quickly looking through what Zephic has available.
There's some good stuff there.
Yeah. So I see one that says you may open a gate to somewhere you have been before.
That is an extended action. It takes 3 turns to do. So
okay.
It is very useful to get around. And also it can go a long distance, but it would take you like 3 turns of combat to do it, so.
Okay, we'll hold off on that then. This hemorrhage ability sounds fun.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, let's go with that on the guy that resisted the mental thing, and Zephic will just basically be like, "All right then, if you don't want to play, then I'll play dirty."
Okay.
Is it the hit button, I presume?
No, so you roll willpower again, -10.
Okay. Willpower. There we go. -10.
Okay. Oh lord. Alright, let me have a look at what we need to oppose with toughness. Energy damage, +1 additional. Oh god. Okay. Toughness. Okay, so that's 3 degrees of success to 7 degrees of success. So it ignores. Oh god. Okay. Okay. So basically, what this does is you pretty much boil the blood inside your enemy. It's a mix of that. Like you will see like probably coming out the seams of the armor slightly, like in a few cracks and stuff, just like this kind of bubbling blood just coming down. You do 12 wounds of damage, which really hurts this guy. It is not affected by toughness or armor, so it's straight damage. Like armor doesn't matter, toughness doesn't matter. These guys are reasonably tough. But you, yeah, this guy gets very hurt.
Okay. With that, I think Zephic will chime in with "Oh, I always love to paint the town red."
Also, that's a half action. Wait, is it a half action? Hemorrhage. It's a half action, yeah. So you still have 2 more half actions to do things. Because you are a Lord of Change, you are faster, stronger, and tougher than most mortal beings. You can do more in an action, basically. So instead of like the full action that everyone gets, you get a full action and a half action.
Okay. Would I be able to like warp right up to the guy that I just bled out almost? And smack him?
You can fly. So what you could in fact do is fly into the air above them and then be ready to basically dive bomb them next turn. And also, because that would be another half action, you could use another ability like your Flame Breath or let's see what else you could use. You could use Crush if you like, or Molten Beam.
Ooh, Molten Beam sounds fun.
Oh, you don't have Flame Breath actually. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that then. Zephic will swoop up and then use Molten Beam if she can. Okay.
It's a little daunting to be so powerful, isn't it? You're like, am I really allowed to do another ability? Like, just no. I made someone blood boil from the inside, and now I get to like beam. So yeah, it's that is. Oh, that's so much damage.
The number seems large. Yes.
Yeah, it's +10 willpower.
Okay. Oh, cool. I think I'm doing this right. Nothing happened. Willpower, where'd it go? There it is.
So don't put the plus in, just put 10.
Ah, that was a problem.
Yep, that's right. 90 targets. So this just hits. Give me a 1d10 plus 22.
Cow.
31. Okay. So that's, I need to do some very quick maths. Oh yeah, no, okay. So as you like unfurl your wings and you like, it's a mix of like flap your wings down, but also like your powerful legs just push up, and you basically rocket into the sky. And you are floating above with your wings flapping, and you just bring your staff down and point and start channeling the power of the warp. And from the staff, just this like really, really bright glow starts working its way up the staff to the book. The book sets on fire, and then just this pure beam of energy. It's probably also multicolored and like iridescent. Like you can see like snatches of like blues and greens and pinks and purples in it, and it just rockets down and strikes this marine in his power armor, like right on the chest. And you see there's like a sizzle, and like his face like scrunches up, and then suddenly it just bursts through the back of his chest, and he falls onto his knees and catches fire. And it's like this, it's like this pure blue flame that just creeps along him and up him.
All right.
He is very dead.
Zephic's gonna end that turn off by going, "Who wants barbecue?"
Wow, so strong. So I believe next up is Core.
All right. Well, like you said, I've been ready to burst out of this broken down house, so I'm gonna just come bursting out with these horrors. And I see that there are 3 of the Space Marines left, so I'm gonna send 3 of my horrors after them.
Okay. The horrors responding to your wants before you even say anything. One of them kind of stays. We can say, for the sake of argument, because you were in there for a little bit of time, you're back on your disc if you want to be. So you're kind of floating about 4 or 5 foot off the ground, just on this disc. And 3 of them like rush forward. The other one's kind of hanging around by your side, ready to, do whatever you command, basically. They're not going to get there this turn, but the beginning of next turn, they totally will. And yeah, would you like to do anything? I'm just having a look here at what you've got. You do have range on them for your attacks. Your Inferno, your Flame Breath, if you'd like to use either of those.
All right. Let's try the Flame Breath.
Okay. That will be a willpower roll. Oh, I spelled willpower wrong.
All right. The page is kind of lagging on me.
Okay.
Is that just a straight roll?
Yeah, just a straight roll.
Okay.
Oh, just off. So, what you would have is, unless you'd like to use a reroll, which you do have a few fate points as well. Let me just double check that I put them down for both of you. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Let's have a look for. There you are. I did not give you fate points, so I will just give you fate points. There you go. Bring one down because you used one, so you're on 2. There you go. Yeah, so if you'd like to use a fate point, you can. I do also believe that you have. No, I don't think I put this power in for Zephic. Let me just double check. Speed, Winding Fate. Yeah, okay. So, Zephic, you have an ability that I didn't put in the thing, which is it's very similar to Winding Fate, except for instead of looking to the past and the future, you look at the present and you basically predict what can happen. What this does is it gives you 5 temporary fate points.
Oh, wow.
That you can use on yourself or other people near you. So just keep that in mind. It's not one I put down, but it's basically a -10 sinus science test to use it. So
Okay.
yeah, and that's just for the that's for the scene, or it can only be used once. So whenever if you'd like to use it. So yeah, Core, if you'd like to use your fate point, you are perfectly welcome. If not, you can save them for later. It just lets you re-roll a roll.
Yeah, might as well use it.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a success. Okay, so let me pull up your sheet, which has disappeared for me for a second. There we go. This is a 1d10 plus 12. Okay. 19. Wow, you guys are rolling well today. Okay. So what they now have to do is an agility roll. And because this is a flame, this encompasses all of them. So, agility roll. That's a success, okay. That's also a success, okay. Also a success. So, what you have here is you kind of burst out of this wall and immediately 3 of the horrors start charging towards them. Then you which head do you think would spit this fire? Or do you think it would be all 3, or
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So you kind of burst out through this wall, the horrors moving off before you, and then all 3 of your heads snake out and forwards, open their beaks, and just this fire coalesces together, and it is big and rolling and extended, and it just goes straight for these Marines. It does hit them. They do, however, manage to roll out of it as it's hitting them and engulfing them. They are also in power armor. It's reasonably resistant to fire to a certain extent. So unfortunately you don't set them on fire, but you do a significant amount of damage to each of them, to the point where their power armor is clinking and plinking as you all of your beaks close in synchronized together, and your neck retracts and your heads kind of like start moving independently again. Oh damn, guys. And yeah, you still have a half action if there's anything else you'd like to do.
Okay.
For yeah.
Can I use Inferno?
Inferno would be another attack, so
Right. Okay.
But if you wanted to use one of your like forewarning or your fire shield, those ones would be possible.
Sure. I will do forewarning.
Okay. Yeah. So if you roll me a sign of science. Yeah, nice. Okay, so one of your heads dips and then just slides to the side and kind of slides out of reality as you start seeing possibilities in the future. They kind of flash before your mind. There are instances where, the Space Marines like fire multiple like rounds up at Zephic. There's instances where they charge forward and start crushing your horrors. There's instances where they just ignore both and go straight after the human who's in front of you. And the other two of your heads, one of them like directs itself towards Jim, and the other one kind of up towards Zephic, and just starts separately speaking this like guttural lizard sounding language, which is a language of demons. And Zephic, you understand it, so you know what this is. This is something that Kor's done before. She looks to possibilities and gives you this kind of like, it's almost subliminal message, which in the future means before you even react, you'll know if an attack is coming.
Okay.
And the same thing happens for you, Jim. You don't understand what it is, but you have this kind of like subconscious tensing in your entire mind, which is kind of coiled like a spring. And what this means is both of you get +10 to your evasion tests.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And Jim, you're up, buddy.
Oh, well, with everything that's going on, I think it's time for me to remember that I'm the best at what I do.
Shooting Heresy.
Except the heresy is kind of on my side, so I'm gonna perform some mental gymnastics
Right.
to convince myself that if I was able to summon the demons, that must mean they're not heresy after all. Maybe, just maybe, we were being the heretics all along. Perhaps the real heresy were all the people we met along the way. And I'd like to try and shoot a Grey Knight, please. Bring up
Absolutely.
my gun.
Oh, one thing that I didn't add into your character sheet because I was busy making these two. You have it's basically like a fire cloak ability that came with the tattoo. It's probably
Like
not.
like flame of Inverness of flame sort of thing, or?
It's more like making your skin red hot, almost like molten. It doesn't hurt you, but for example, it's very useful if you're handcuffed. You can melt the handcuffs. Or if someone's like grappling you or anything like that, you can do that type of thing. It's like, I guess, like if you were to grapple someone, you can kind of set them on fire a little bit, etc. But keep in mind, once you stop the power, you are you can also be set on fire. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll keep hold of that one for the time being. I'm just gonna pop a couple of semi-auto shots off, not even really aiming, half aim maybe, as I'd like to run away towards a nearby building, which I think would make a good sniping spot.
Okay. What gun are you using at the moment?
I'll be using the hotshot las pistol.
Oh, nice. Running away. I mean, sniping with a pistol.
Well, I won't be sniping just yet. I'm just shooting and running to where I think will be a good spot, and then I'll be getting out the las gun for the actual sniping.
Okay.
Remember, I have an arsenal on me at the minute. I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
You shouldn't. You summoned a demon, and and then you basically summoned a planet destroyer. After that, so you know. But yeah, it will be at extreme range because these Space Marines haven't moved yet, so they're like kind of 75 meters away from you.
Okay, so rolling to hit the Marines then as I start moving.
Yep.
Half aim, like I said. Is that cool? Range extreme, you say?
Yeah. The I can't remember what the exact words, but yeah, the basically the longest range is where it'll be.
Yep, minus 30, got it.
Yeah.
Rate of fire semi-auto. Input value none. Ammo semi-auto. Firing mode normal.
Oh yeah, you hit.
Yeah.
And they've already dodged, so let's get a damage. I think you hit twice. Were you aiming at targets or?
Yeah, I was just aiming at the closest two, more covering myself for my run.
Okay. Roll me 2 damage.
One's pretty good.
I mean, you've seen the damage that these demons are doing, right?
Yep. I'm aware.
Yeah. So
I've got to be seen to doing my part. I want to live.
I can tell you this. The hot shot, the first shot you peel off, I'll say it's the 5 damage one, just for the sake of it. It actually reflects off the armor. Just flies straight up into the air. Let's say, for the sake of narrative enjoyment, it hits a bird who squawks awkwardly. The second shot you pull off goes straight through the armor. And doesn't seem to have any effect on the Marine. Like, it doesn't even move it. It just creates a hole in the armor. And
I'm running away for all the troubles in my life. I'm running away.
Well, what I can tell you outside of player knowledge, of character knowledge, is that these Space Marines have 8 toughness. So, they can tank 8 damage without armor.
Awesome!
Mm-hmm.
This is fine. Oh god, this is my most damaging gun as well. Maybe I shouldn't go and snipe.
No. It's a really damaging gun, and it doesn't do much. You have to roll pretty high to do damage to these Space Marines. Which is why the demons are so powerful. It's almost like you weren't supposed to fight these guys.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Oops.
Yeah. So I think, to begin with, the Grey Knights, and you can run into a nearby building. You can go up a floor even if you'd like to have like an elevated position. Although you did also get a kill, so I mean it's just a bird, but still. you know, maybe they'll count it when this is all done. So yeah, I think the Grey Knights are going to. I think with Zephyr up in the air like that, they're not going to charge in because they also have the horrors coming at them. So I think each Grey Knight is going to aim at one of the horrors and just let go. They've got these storm bolters, which are like slightly more impressive than regular bolters. Do a bit more damage. They're a bit more kind of like they're a bit more automatic. So let's see how they do with this. The first one is going to probably be about standard range. Yeah, probably about standard range. And then semi-auto. So many different things to click through. Okay, that's one. And then the second one. Apologies for this, guys, but there is a lot of clicking to go through. Okay, that's it. Oh god. Okay, I'll deal with that in a second. Standard. Okay, 2 hits. So roll damage. And damage for the 2 that hit. Okay. And then see how the horrors take this. So I think they're reasonably strong. They're like just above gym level to a certain extent, individually. No offense, Jim. Okay, yeah. So the Grey Knights like stand their ground. One of their members is still like just he's like falling forward and hits the ground with like these flames still running over him and consuming him. The other 3, without even hesitating, raise their storm bolters and just unleash like this kind of crackling gunfire in unison. One of them, their gun just doesn't fire. Immediately he's like starts smacking it with like this big like power armored arm, starts hitting it. He's jammed his gun because apparently these guys suck. And the other two just open up with their guns, and like you can see like holes appearing in the horrors. They don't go down, they're still running, but a couple of them like they get staggered, like they're perforated in multiple parts of their bodies very visibly. And they keep going, but they've been significantly hit. And I think the Space Marine with the gun is going to drop it and go to this sword at his waist. And as he pulls it out, I'll give this to you, Zephyr. You've experienced these weapons before. They're actually designed to damage and hurt demons. So when you see him pulling this sword, you can assume that the other ones have this as well. You'll know that like these cut through your natural like demonic toughness and armor. Like they're designed to specifically do damage to creatures of the warp like you. And that's going to be their turn. So, Zephyr, you're up.
Alright, so Zephyr starts out by looking at Kaw and going, "Oh look! It's adorable! He's trying to help!" and she'll just like laugh as the bird dies.
Yeah.
And then as she sees the sword, she's gonna go, "Ooh, we don't like those." And she'll use let's do the molten beam on the one that drew the sword.
Okay. So that will be a +10 willpower.
There it is.
And that hits. He does have a dodge. And I'm not gonna lie, I think he's using it.
Can't imagine why.
Okay. Well, he's clearly distracted by his gun not working. Roll me 1d10 plus 22.
I think we found the stormtrooper space marine.
Yeah. These guys are like professional demon killers.
Oh, jeez.
26. All right. So that was that guy.
Zigged when he should have zagged.
And considering the flame that already engulfed them, this is enough to take him out. Would you like to detail how this one dies, or would you like me to do another description?
So I suppose Zephic will just kind of look down at him as he draws the sword, and of course say, though, we don't like that. And basically just say, well, try slicing this, and shoot the beam. And I kind of imagine it just kind of going right through its head.
I think, like, because he couldn't dodge, he tries to, like, bring his blade up to, like, deflect it or, like, stop it, and it just melts through the blade. And it's just, like, he's got it, like, up by his head, and it's, like, there for, like, half a second before the blade just, like, melts and breaks in two, and it just, like, just a straight beam of energy goes straight through his head.
Okay. And that one's a half action too, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do hemorrhage on another one
Okay, hemorrhage.
to mix it up a little bit. And
Yes.
Zephic's gonna say, well, every good barbecue needs some sauce.
Oh, one thing. The crush isn't as much damage, but it does grapple them telekinetically. Just so you know.
Okay.
Just in case you want to, like, use that.
Very cool. So it's willpower minus 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe that's a opposed with toughness. That is opposed with toughness. They're better at toughness, so this one might succeed. Yeah, it succeed. Okay, so the power you try and manifest, it's always tricky when you come to this, kind of more solid reality. Sometimes it's hard to gather enough power from the warp to use this type of thing. Also, as you've been using your powers, and this is something you're used to, like the rift that was open that let you through has slowly been healing itself. So, like, when you draw on the warp, it's obviously always easier if there's a rift, because the warp's kind of leaking out from this demonic world.
Okay.
So that's probably has a little something to do with it, narratively speaking, at least. Actually speaking, you just rolled not brilliantly.
That's okay. I think that's fair.
And you have one more half action. It will be non-attack. So you can attack twice. So the other things you can do is, like, you can move, you can use a more utility power, or...
The one that's not on my character sheet that does the 5 temporary. Yeah, is that a half action?
That's a full action.
Full action?
That takes your entire turn, yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, your entire turn, but everyone else's entire turn.
I think in that case, Zephic will just fly a little bit higher, away from the people with pointy swords.
Well, one thing you could do is, if you're intending to go down there and have at them, you could invoke warp speed.
Okay.
that gives you basically +10 to your weapon skill, ballistic skill, and agility.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that one then.
Okay. Do
Oh
you need-
boy.
What's up?
I'm just looking at the amount that succeeds by.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
Welcome to the academy.
yeah,
Please
no,
take
damn.
your seat.
Okay, so I think what happens here is the smoke that has been kind of drifting off you and kind of like not enveloping you, but just like outlining you almost, kind of coalesces together and like actually shrouds you aside from your head. And it starts like crackling with this like bursts of light and color around you, and then you flap your wings in one big downward sweep, and the smoke like shifts off you, and you're still iridescent, you're still multicolored, but there's like these little kind of purple crackles of lightning that just kind of almost like static are rippling across like your plumage.
Oh, cool.
And let's say, because you rolled so well, and that is really that's like 6 degrees of success or something, I think. You have +15 to your weapon skill, ballistic skill, and agility. So when you need to make those rolls, your modifier will be 15.
Okay, cool.
And those of you who, and I imagine this is everyone, because she does cut quite a striking figure. You can see that her already like fast and quick and strong movements are even more like pronounced. Wow. So, Core, you're up.
All right. I had this image as Jim accidentally kills the bird and it falls out of the sky. I had this image of like one of my heads just turning and like snatching it out of the air and swallowing it.
Oh yeah, totally. Like it just goes, it kind of goes up at an angle, hits this bird, and the bird just kind of plummets and goes down. And the other two heads just, looking around, planning, thinking. Your third head on the left just very casually like snakes out and opens its beak and just shoots up as the bird comes down and grabs it, and does that kind of like pelican type like shoveling it down the throat, and just reels back in, comes back, and as it comes back, the other two heads like shift and look at it for a second, don't say anything, and just shift back.
And then I would like to do Inferno.
So what you're saying is, where is too many sheets on the thing? What you're saying is Zephic is stealing a little bit too much of the murdering or killing thing. Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I can't be upstaged.
so this will be a willpower -10. If you'd like, I'm not sure I'd advise it, but if you'd like, you can use a willpower to add +10 to the roll. To use a fate to add +10 to the roll. But that
I
would
will
be a lot of fate
save the fate point for now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, cool. Roll me 2d10 plus 15. $18. Okay. There's 2 left, correct? I have a question.
I think so, yeah.
So your willpower roll was decent. Would you like to limit the blast so you don't get your horrors mixed up in this? Because one thing I will tell you, and that you know, is that you can multiplicate your horrors more if you like as they die.
Yeah, I'd like to try to keep them around for as long as I can.
I mean, if you kill them, you can create more, basically,
Okay.
as they die. Basically, it would reduce the damage a little bit, and as you try and like hold back your power to not include your horrors.
Yeah, I don't think I would be as concerned with the horrors as I am with my lovely asset I just recruited. So
Yeah, no, they're minions at best. Tools. Okay. So this is what happens. One of your necks and heads dip forward and opens its beak, and this tiny pinprick of like shining molten fire just drifts out of your mouth. Sorry, of one of your mouths. The other 2 heads snake in and surround it and start breathing. And as they breathe, this kind of like very one of your like the left head, it's almost like blue gas, and the right head is like this kind of purple pinkish gas, and they envelop this pinprick of light, and it starts to expand and shift colors, and it shifts to like a blue, and it shifts to a pink, and it kind of, both of those colors envelop this this ball as it gets bigger, and it's like a picture of the sun almost. You know how the sun is like, it's got aspects of white in it and like, darker bits of color, and then all 3 heads, after it's grown a small amount, all 3 heads shift back and all breathe at the same time, and it just shifts forward really, really slowly and disappears into the ether. And half a second later, it just shifts back out right in the face of one of the Space Marines, the one without a helmet. And then this massive explosion of pinks and blues and reds just engulfs the entire area. The horrors are caught up in it. Both Space Marines are caught up in it. You actually hear a scream. Like, not exactly a scream, more like a yell of surprise. And parts of buildings are like completely consumed. Like, this fire is more than your fire breath. Your fire breath is actually fire. This is more like almost pure energy from the warp that you've infused into this fireball. And then as quickly as it explodes out, it implodes back in, and you hear this kind of like, kind of whipping sound of like whoop, 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 and it just comes straight back in and disappears. Poof. Like little like puff of gray smoke. And on the ground there, you see 2 thoroughly burned. Actually, all of the Space Marine corpses now are thoroughly burned. They are not moving. They are dead. And Jim, you made it to your sniping position, buddy.
Yeah, get out my las gun and... Oh. They're all dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit awkward. Now it might look like I ran away.
I mean, would you like to take a shot at one of the Space Marines?
I think I would, yeah. Just so that everyone knows I wasn't running away. You know, just to make me feel better more than anything else.
Totally.
I'm gonna take real steady aim as well. Actually.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's gonna be, you know, full aim. Distance on this one?
It'll be long. What's the range on your lasgun?
100 meters.
Oh, it'll be standard then, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Full aim, standard range, rate of fire will go standard, just one shot. Single shot, firing mode normal.
Hell yeah. Plinks off the armor. But yeah, hit him.
Hey, maybe it might go through the armor, we don't know that.
It goes through the armor.
Yep.
It hits the body and the body like jerks very slightly.
Yeah. And if any of the demons, even just minions, look my way, I'm gonna wink and give a thumbs up.
The minions are burnt to a crisp.
Right.
Can Zephyr see this?
Absolutely.
Zephyr's gonna look over at Jim and just be like, I like him.
I think that's what the humans call adding insult to injury.
Yes, it's very chaotic. I love it.
Oh god, the chaos. Great. I'll start climbing back down the building, approach these new demon overlords.
Zephyr, you're currently still in the air, but you can easily just waft down, as it were.
She'll go ahead and
I assume you'd like to do it a little bit regally and kind of like a descending from the heavens type way.
I kind of imagine Zephyr just kind of swooping down as fast as possible, taking advantage of some of that that extra speed.
Oh yeah.
From the ability. Basically, kind of the equivalent of driving a car, acting like you're going to hit somebody and then braking right at the last second to land right in front of Jim.
Okay. You'll probably have to use your wings to like buffer yourself because you're going pretty fast. This is from Jim's perspective. This is very much like a car going 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, and sun's in front of his face.
Okay.
Jim,
Perfect.
roll me a. Sorry, I have to find Jim. There he is. Roll me.
I had to play this song, by the way. It's called "Sheep May Safely Graze."
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love it.
Roll me a. I think just strength for this one.
Just a straight up strength.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Would you like to reroll?
Do you know what? No. I'll take it.
The wings smack you with not hit you with the wings, but the burst of air like gusts straight into you, and it just like knocks you backwards, and you kind of fall on your ass. And there's a 17-foot-ish giant bird of multicolored plumage with like, you know, dark smoke. You've seen it. You're the one who opened the way for it. It's just decimated a squad of Space Marines with very little effort.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming because I'm on my ass, that must mean it wants me on my ass. So I'm gonna stay on my ass and just sort of like put my arms on my knees and be like, well, hi. I've already met Kahal, Yokai over there. My name's Jim Best, Desperado. I hunt the Heresy, which is the Inquisition.
And if you guys would like to gather up for a little bit of a powwow, I just need to go to the toilet quickly, so feel free to
Okay.
go nuts.
I guess Zephic hasn't really introduced herself yet at this point, so she'll look down at Jim and like, oh, good. I'm Zephic. You know what? My name's too long for you to get, so just call me Zephic.
Zephic, right, got it. So if Cahor's the handler, you must be the, looks at the soldiers. Heavy artillery.
Zephic goes, yes, something like that. You can just call me Zephic, Overlord, you know, any fancy, praiseworthy name like that's fine.
What would you prefer, Zephic or Overlord?
You know, I'm feeling a bit overlordish today. Let's go with Overlord.
All right, should I check in every time just to make sure, Overlord?
Oh, no, that's fine. Just Overlord for now until I tell you otherwise, or Call tells you otherwise.
Lovely. And Cahor, are you also joining us?
Yes.
Are you satisfied, Cahor?
For now.
Well, you know,
You're alive, aren't you?
I'm very satisfied, I must say. I'm alive. And, you know, those guys would have almost certainly killed me. Much as I was trying to help out there, my feeble guns were barely chinking their armor. Except for that last shot. That last shot was a good one.
Oh, so just to add into what has been said, Zephic, you have about 17 names, some of which are not pronounceable by human language. So yeah, Zephic is a much shortened version of that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cahor, you have about 10 names. And again, some of them aren't pronounceable,
So now I reassemble with my Inquisition agents and continue working as an agent of chaos?
Do what you do best.
Well, I mean, we're currently on a mission to root out Heresy. Should I abandon that? Should I?
So, here's a little bit of information for both of you. Tzeentch has long-term plans drifting into the thousands of years for this area. Currently, however, he's a little bit vexed that one of the other Chaos God's cultists, in this instance Slanesh, has allowed themselves to be manipulated into being a pawn. Tzeentch doesn't like Slanesh. Slanesh is annoying, vulgar, weird. You guys both dislike Slanesh as well. But the only person who's allowed to manipulate Slanesh is Tzeentch. So it's insulting that these cultists have been allowed to be manipulated by the Imperium, by this rogue trader. Your basic goal and orders and the reason for you being here is to see that the cult is destroyed, that all of the plans of these humans are foiled and punished. Zephic, you probably have a vague idea of what Tzeentch has planned for this area. Usually it's cults, subversion, conversion, maybe taking over the system. It's very possible that this entire plan is to take over a completely different system in 500 years. Who knows? All you know is that Tzeentch wants this cult gone and wants the Imperium, and especially the rogue trader here, to be punished.
Okay. And not sure if I quite followed. So the cult that he wants gone is the one that the party was already hunting?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the cult of the Harlequin Rose.
Okay. So I assume it wouldn't be unreasonable for Zephic to say, basically, just keep doing what you're doing, but if they get off track and start looking at other heretics or things, then just nudge them back towards decimating this specific one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's basically what she'll relay.
Right, but don't go so far as destroying the planet. I mean, if a sect of Grey Knights just got destroyed here, I'm gonna need to de-escalate that, I suppose.
At mentioning destroying the planet, Zephic's to go, I like your spirit. I like your ideas. I like the way you think. But I'm pretty sure that our boss wants this planet around, so maybe don't destroy it.
All right.
But keep thinking that way. I like your mindset there.
It's where my mind usually mostly goes. Most problems can be solved by just straight up destroying the planet, if we're honest, Overlord. All right.
Here's a question for both. Well, for Zephic majority, I'd say, but also for Core. Would you guys like to deal with the Grey Knights kind of while you talk and like make that so it's not a problem?
Meaning the bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Figured Zephic would probably just torch them.
Before you start torching, I kind of have an idea. I might be able to convince my allies that I managed to root you guys, the demons. If I perhaps take some of that armor and say the whole platoon was wiped out except for me.
That's clever.
It's a complete lie.
So, Core, one of your abilities that Sheepdog was in a rush today and did manage to put down on your sheet, is you have the ability to manipulate flesh. What you can effectively do is harvest these marines and craft for both yourself and Zephic human bodies to manifest into for a short amount of time. It will get rid of the marines, and it will also make you a lot less obvious for a while. You will look human.
All right. Well, since we are making plans for deception already, let's just take that a step further.
Right?
Okay. Core floats on this disc over towards... I imagine you guys are also heading over in that direction as well.
I'll be walking, yeah.
Zephic, I assume you're not using your wings. They're probably like wrapped around you again at this point.
Yeah.
And you hear like this like very very light melodic tinkling from the staff as the rings like clash against the pole part of the staff.
Okay.
Jim, roll me a willpower.
Sure thing.
Demons, man, they do stuff to you while they're about.
I succeed on this one.
Successful. You managed to not get enchanted by the ringing. It has a very seductive, distracting quality to it, and you like multiple times you feel your mind drifting off to like almost nothingness, where your mind is just going blank. But every time you manage to like snap yourself back, and you realize that this like jingling, it's not even like a power; it's just an effect that Zephic has. It's not intentional or anything like that. It's just it's basically a side effect of existing for Zephic.
Oh damn.
And Zephic, you probably know what Core's doing, so you're prepared for this. Jim, I doubt you're prepared for this. Zephic, Core, your disc like shifts down as you decide you want to step off it onto the ground. You're slightly hunched most of the time. If you stand up, you're probably closer to like 8 and 9 feet tall. And you crouch down by this by this kind of area where all of these space marines have been ridiculously slaughtered, and you're like heads snake out and grab them with your beak, and you like drag them into a pile in front of you. You stretch out your arms, all 3 of them, and start chanting and kind of swaying very slightly, and the smoke that is around you shifts to the floor and starts creeping up towards these bodies, and it envelops them and it runs over them, and it starts crackling with like very light pink flames and lightning, as something very obviously is happening underneath the smoke. And after about 10 minutes of this, you're not feeling drained, but you're feeling like you couldn't do this again. Basically, this is something that you have to really concentrate on, and it saps some of your ability to stay in this realm for an extended period of time. You bring all 3 arms down, and the smoke just, and there's 2 bodies, just regular looking human bodies. They can be however you would like them to look. They can be male, female, androgynous, clothed, any kind of colors and type. So you probably know what Zephic likes. So in terms of narratively, Zephic, if you'd like to have a certain thing, then you have it, because Core has an idea of how you like to go human.
I kind of imagine that you'd have a female body with hair sort of multicolored, rainbow like she is now, in a style that's somewhat reminiscent of like plumage on a bird.
Maybe just like a kind of slightly floppy mohawk.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so it like goes straight up and then kind of shifts down to one side, like down the side of the face. And
perfect. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
It like starts off like roots dark black and then shifts through colors to, in like stages all the way down.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, and maybe in terms of clothes, just like maybe a similar-ish thing, a bit less pronounced, maybe like washed out colors. Just kind of like robes and that type of thing.
Perfect.
So Zephic, you kind of clump towards the body that's been prepared for you, and like quick as an arrow, just instantly you like move your wing and it just jams into like the kind of chest sternum area of this body, and you just, I don't want to say that because that's a spoiler for a film, but you kind of disintegrate into sand. If you know what that's a spoiler for, I don't need to say it. And you like your essence like shifts and follows this wing, and the wing is the last thing to go, and it just drifts into this body and opens her eyes and stands up, brushes herself off. Very casual. Core, how about yours?
Mine also has a female body, long, like blue-black hair. I'm thinking blue robes with a little bit of like yellow gold on the edging.
A little trimming of yellow gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am going to say this for the sake of narration. I think every now and then you will both notice Core trying to turn her head in like 3 different ways at the same time. And just being, it's kind of like, yeah, just getting a little like, feeling very strange about it. Probably a little more uncomfortable in a human body than Zephic, just purely because Zephic, you're bipedal, you have 2 arms, you have wings, so maybe for a little while don't jump off buildings expecting to fly.
All right.
But yeah, you're a bit more comfortable because it's very similar to your body. It's just small, weak, and puny compared to yours.
Yeah.
And actually, what happens with Core is Core's necks stretch out and start pecking and consuming this body, and very quickly, just all of it is gone. A leg goes down one neck, an arm goes down another, and then Core just shifts and gets smaller, and the body shape changes, and the scaliness goes away, goes pink, and the hair grows, like the heads move together and fuse together, and then you are presented with the human woman that was described, and you have 2 human ladies standing in front of you.
So I'm guessing that this isn't your, like, actual form, and the demon things is just a thing. This is just a mask, right?
You know nothing, Jim Best.
How long have you been waiting to use that one?
This whole time.
Zephic will kind of clear her throat and be like, ugh, I never get used to being in these bodies. Oh, is that my voice? Ugh. Anyways, no, this isn't even my final form. Don't worry about it.
When you embrace chaos, you really embrace chaos.
It seems so. All right, let's try and get one of the armors off this thing. Hey, what does a purity seal do anyway? Like, from your guys' point of view. I mean, I know we think that they keep things pure and stop demons from infesting. Does it actually do anything to you guys?
Not much.
Sorry, was that not much?
Yeah, not much. Like, for Core, maybe a little discomfort, a little difficulty in affecting things that have purity seals. For Zephic, unless it's like a really powerful chaplain or something, like a really strong psyker, absolutely nothing.
Okay, so Zephic will kind of put her arm around Jim's shoulder and be like, well, you know how when you humans get like a little tiny itty bitty little pebble and it's stuck in your shoe, and as you're walking, how that feels?
Yeah.
It's about like that.
Okay, good to know. I always suspected. What about if I put one on? Will that upset this?
Will it?
You don't know. Maybe.
Would you like to find out?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking that a purity seal would set people's minds at ease if I was wearing one. That kind of a symbol. Hell with it. And I'm gonna go over to one of these. They look like surgeons, right? Almost like combat surgeons. These Grey Knights.
They're gone.
Oh, they're gone. Okay.
The whole smoke and everything was them basically being gotten rid of by Core.
Just the flesh, though, right? The armor's still there.
No, the armor was disappeared as well.
Okay.
It's like leave no trace. Incidentally, the horrors have dissolved and disappeared. None of them killed by the Space Marines. All of them were killed by Core.
All right, well, you two are very efficient. I guess all I really need is a long sleeve shirt, and then I'm ready to go visit my friends, right?
Either of you two could do that. Just manipulate things so that you can literally grow his sleeve or his sleeves. So yeah, your sleeves grow, and they just extend out to your wrists, and then who's doing this? Is this Core or is this
I think it was
Zephyr?
Caw.
Okay, Core, you've seen Jim have multiple problems with handcuffs. Would you like to be a little bit mischievous?
Yes.
Okay.
We are emissaries of chaos.
You are. Jim, your sleeves extend, and then this small, thin film extends out from the wrists of both sides, connects together, and then chunk, you're in manacles.
Manacles are worse than handcuffs. What? Ah.
That's a very subtle way for Core to tell you, I've been watching you, and I know how you messed up multiple times with handcuffs.
All right. I don't know which one of you did it, but fair enough. And Jim will assume that he won't ask for help. He'll just go ahead and dislocate his thumbs and start removing the manacles. Which we agreed was a free action, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the shirt. I gotta say, you look much better as humans. No offense.
I'll try not to take offense at that.
Personal opinion, being human. It's kind of nice. Feel like I'm talking to, what on earth am I talking about? Right, okay, so, Heresy.
As you say, it feels like I'm talking to Core hiccoughs, and a feather just goes poof, out of her mouth.
Little indigestion there, Caw.
That'll be fine.
So, do you know where my friends went? I think they were hiding out in that house over there. The one that's collapsed.
I assume Zephyr wouldn't actually know where Jim's friends are. Okay, so...
Yeah, even if Zephyr knew, Zephyr wouldn't care.
so Zephyr is going to put her arm around Jim again and go, all right, I'll answer your question with a question. What do you get if you cross an elephant with a rhino?
A rhino-elephant.
No, an elevino.
Oh.
I like it.
She's just gonna laugh and slap him on the back, and kind of just be tickled at her own joke.
Okay. Good. Well, maybe we could go and have a look.
Incidentally, because we've gone on to human forms and everything, if anyone has been watching and is like, I wonder, more specifically what both of these lovely, wonderful demons look like, there is a link to both of them. The first one is Zephyr, and the second one is Core. So you can get an idea of how they look. Core didn't have forearms. She had 3, but aside from that, that's pretty much how they look. Yeah, so, at this point, it's kind of up to you guys what you'd like to do. You are a little bit limited in your abilities, mostly in the sense that if you for both of you demons, if you display your full abilities in public where people can see and maybe get away, it could lead to bad things in the future. It could basically, expose your plans and that type of thing. So you'd probably want to keep a fairly low profile. But aside from that,
Sheepy,
yeah.
can I please use my scrutiny, which I have still not trained, to have a look around and see if there might have been anyone from the hive that might have seen the things that happened here?
Oh, sure, yeah.
I failed, but not by a lot.
You don't see any signs. This is fairly out of the way. It's a fair ways away, because this is near your safe house, which is where you initially landed. And then, you remember you were brought back here by Core, who you then annoyed, and she summoned demons to chase you down.
Yeah.
So this is still in that area.
I'm glad we worked that all out, Kahal, the demons thing. So can you guys, summon me now? How am I tied to you? I realize I ask a lot of questions, and you guys are agents of chaos, right? And, oh boy, okay.
Yeah, that is an excellent question, though.
So you're more of an agent, very much like you were in the Inquisition, except for now your handlers or your bosses can watch you and materialize mostly when they want. Core has more of an ability to travel to and from. As a herald, she is much more an instrument of Tzeentch in that she comes to worlds a lot more often. Zephic, it takes a lot to bring Zephic through, because Zephic, as I said, is a planet killer. Zephic could very easily destroy everyone on this planet, given enough time, just flying around and ripping everything apart. So yeah, it does take more effort. It's less likely that Zephic would just turn up and be like, yo, sup?
Okay, so Kahal, then I guess I'll see you more and more in the future. It's nice that you guys are so nice, The Inquisition has a lot of, I guess, propaganda about how you kill and shag everything. Don't need to do any of that, do I? To be part of the Inquisition, I can just carry on as I was, double agent style.
As I said, you do what you do best.
What I do
I
best...
will find you when I need you.
What I do best isn't very nice.
Well, we're not exactly saints here.
Alright, well, let's go and see if we can find my friends then, shall we? If you would like to come along, of course, Kahor, Overlord.
Oh, certainly. Lead on, little human.
Yeah, okay. And I will walk towards the crushed building, please, Sheepy.
Okay. Which one? Quite a few ones were crushed.
The one that I left my friends in.
Okay.
When I abandoned them.
You don't... Well, they abandoned you, technically.
True.
So, honestly, this is all Selena's fault.
It is, I've suspected that Selena was a heretic from the start, as soon as that Musculius fellow got involved.
Heretics in glass houses shouldn't throw stones at this point, I think, mate. I always knew you were a heretic, he says, flanked by two demons who just killed a whole load of space marines.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't need to roll for this. You can pick through the house, but there's no dead bodies or anything. The demons who were killed by the Space Marines originally, they would have like disappeared, either gone back to. I think they were just killed actually. So yeah, they've just gone, like burnt up and disappeared.
Oh, okay. So they won't be reporting to the Inquisition. That's a shame. I feel like they might have given us a good review. Can I try and track Selena?
Sure. Survival.
Yes, good old survival. I failed, but I did roll a 69.
You did.
And I feel like, as a heretic, that means something.
Well, 9 is the number of Tzeentch. So, and I'm actually just going to. Yeah, you have no idea of where they went. There are tracks all over the place. You know what? You do figure one thing out. The really big, like, taloned footsteps is probably Zephic.
I can see from these tracks that, you were here, Overlord.
Well, you know, I get around.
Is there any chance you could help me find my, partner in crime? They're sort of my size. They have, hair that goes straight up and is shaved on both sides. They wear boots, which go pretty much all the way up their thighs.
Red boots.
They're red. Usually seen wearing leather, I think.
Sounds like my kind of person. Is Zephic going to be able to do anything special to look for this person, or is it just looking around?
Let's have a look, shall we? Okay. I would say probably. Okay, yeah. It's probably an awareness minus 20 because it's not. You know, it's one of those things where it's like it's not specifically looking for tracks or anything. It's just a general awareness of the area and that type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just over there. it's like a mile away. But you know, you're just you had a little look while you were flying up in the air, and you saw like off in the distance some like kind of ship type thing, and you're like, that's probably I'll remember that.
Okay.
Because you got 10 degrees of success, which is just ridiculous. With the minus 20.
I'm probably like, I'm pretty sure she had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch too.
Okay, so well then let's go find that then, shall we? Thank you, Overlord, for your insights.
Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, I suppose when we get around your friends, you probably shouldn't call me Overlord. So maybe just stick with what's a good name? How about well, Zephic won't do. Zelda. We'll go with Zelda.
Zelda, right. And Kahal, would you like to take on an alias?
Call me Kai.
Kai. Nice name. Very nice. Hey, Zephic. You carry on.
Sorry.
There. You carry
One
on.
sec, somebody's at the door.
Yeah, no worries. So, Kahar, I need a planet destroyed. Is that something I could call on you for in future, just hypothetically?
Hypothetically.
Or you more specialize in like spying, subterfuge. If he wanted a city to bend to the will of Tzeentch, he'd call you.
Yeah. Hypothetically, I know someone who can make that happen.
You're the guy who knows a guy. Got it. Well, Kai, it's, Oh, can I keep hold of this knife, too, and summon things, or...?
Prolonged exposure to that knife would probably pardon me, would probably render him a mindless mutation of flesh, and very similar to the horrors, except for uncontrollable.
Did you see those things that came out with me a little while ago?
Yeah, most impressive.
It's probably best if I take the knife back if you want to keep your faculties.
I most certainly do. And I'll do a little bit of knife play with the knife as I hand it back over, because my sleight of hand's through the roof and I've got to use it somewhere.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Here I go and mess it up.
If you cut yourself with this, I swear. Okay, yeah, it works. If you cut yourself with that, mate, it would have been terrible. Like, what? It would have been worse than when you summoned the demon as the Grey Knights came down. But yeah, keep tempting fate, dudes.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% there.
Yeah.
I pass the knife back.
Okay. Plus this, yeah, yeah. This is Kor's knife. It's how she summons demons like Zephyr when the need is for a hammer on a sponge, basically. So no, yeah. when Bull in the China shop is needed, is I think Zephyr and a few other greater demons. Oh, and also, can I get from both Zephyr and Kor a D100, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Low rolls.
Low rolls. Okay. And Zephyr, can you roll me a 3d10? Okay. So two things happen on this walk. For about 10 minutes, all sounds echo, especially around Kor. So it almost sounds like you're in an echo chamber, I guess, where you like say something and it bounces like around your head randomly. Zephyr, Kor, this wouldn't be that weird for you when you are in the material realm for an amount of time. Your power tends to make things happen weird. So this is just one of those things where it's like you affect reality around you.
Okay.
Jim, this would be weird for you.
Yeah, it feels pretty weird.
Feels pretty weird. Feels pretty weird.
Has anyone else got the echoing around?
Oh, that. Yes, you know, I'm so used to it. I didn't even notice. You'll be fine.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. After a little time, like your footsteps stop echoing. There's like a bee that flies by your head and then flies off, and it echoes for about 5 minutes of just this bee around your head, but it's gone. Gets a little bit annoying. Slowly, after a while, it dies away. However, after that, maybe like 10 minutes after that, Zephic starts causing everything to freeze around her. Like the grass, everywhere she steps just frosts up, and it like your breath starts to mist as you're breathing.
Is she able to realize that she's doing this and try to fix it? I guess
Can't fix it.
can't fix it.
It's just your effect on reality from being here.
Okay.
Think of it of a side effect compared to a burning sun laser killing space marines almost instantly.
That's fair.
With great power comes physics bending weirdness, I'm afraid.
Oh.
And Jim, as you're walking, you realize you're in the presence of reality bending, physics disrupting, powerful demons who ripped apart a squad of space marines, who are like the elite of the elite in the Imperium. And they did it without sweating. They're pretty chill about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Literally chill about it.
One of them keeps putting their arm around me.
Oh,
The
incidentally, when you get that arm around you, it feels like a heavily laden backpack instead of an arm. It's like weighted with like mass.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Yep. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Hey, was it one of you guys that bent my gun?
That was cool.
I really liked that gun. Well, okay, carry on. Carry on. Cool. I'm just gonna like routinely start checking all the guns on me and just make sure that I still look the part. That like this physics bending stuff hasn't changed the color of me in any way or anything, or that I haven't, I haven't got heretic kick me written on my back or anything like that. Like.
I mean, that's really a question for the two players. Does he have heretic kick me on his back?
It's tempting, but we don't want to blow our cover.
I think Zephic would probably do something like that, but without spelling out heretic. Something like a simple sign that says, "Hi, my name is Gullible."
So, as a Lord of Change, you are incredibly powerful, and you basically have a certain influence over reality. If you would like, you could have Gullible not tattooed, but basically drawn on his forehead, for example. You can change the color of his clothes without any, obvious effort or anything like that. Like, you can... So, whatever you'd like, really. Feel free to get weird.
I'm trying to think of what's someone like Zephic might do without, but also remembering that, we're trying to keep a low profile here. So probably would just be like a sticker on the back of his shirt or something like that basically says, "Hi, my name is Gullible."
Ask me about handcuffs.
Yes. Definitely.
I just need to make a note. Cool.
I guess I'll find that on my inspection and.
No, it's on your back.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. Well. Troops then. They must be around here somewhere, right?
You can see the ship in the distance now. It's a little bit of a walk away, but shouldn't take you too much time. Kor and Zephic, you would know that it's, even though you're in human form, it's not a good idea for you guys to approach this place. If they have any psychers or anything, you're either going to drive them completely insane or they're going to recognize you, even in your human form.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's before you get any closer, it's probably a good idea to head back to where you came from.
This is where we part company.
Okay. Okay, do we have an official, like, goodbye? Do you guys, like, I don't know, salute, handshake, hug? What's the protocol here?
You know nothing, Jim Best.
Zephic, would you like to open the way?
Yeah, Zephic will just, again, put her arm around Jim and, like a good firm slap on the back and go, just keep going out and causing all sorts of chaos. And I'm sure we'll see each other again someday.
I'm sure.
And as Zephic says that, her arm shifts and expands and grows to about 4 or 5 foot long and plumed. And she draws back her arm and then just shoots it forward in front of her and grabs reality and rips a hole out of it. And it tears away. And you can see inside horrific horrors that I am not going to describe, but you can imagine if you really want to. And I need a willpower test because you just basically looked into a demon world.
Ta-ta!
There it is.
Would you like to reroll that?
Yes, I would, yes. I think this is my last fate point, though.
Yeah. Technically speaking, Zephic has a few spare at the moment, but
I didn't fail by as much.
not as bad. You are, I'll say for the sake of this, you are left blank-minded, absolutely shocked by what you're witnessing and hearing. And take a corruption point, because that's going to corrupt you a little bit, even though you have joined the other side. There's some things you can't unsee.
Oh, yeah. 22 now would be my total corruption.
Yeah, we'll deal with that. Don't worry.
I'm sure we will.
And as Zephic and Kor head into this rift in reality, Zephic goes first, and as she steps across the boundary between this horrific demon world and where you are now, she starts to grow. Her back, her robes on her back start to shift and change colors. Zephic, when you come back to your original form, would you like to keep your colors, or would you like to shift into a different color?
Yeah, let's change things up just for kicks and giggles.
Impact.
Yeah, she'll change into like your stereotypical like devil colors, so really dark crimson red and
Crimson reds and
blacks.
blacks. Yeah, maybe a little bit of gold in there just for the
Yeah,
regard.
yeah. Break it up. a little bit.
Yeah, so the robes shift into like this dark maroon and start to ripple, and you realize that they're plumage, they're feathers, and this big wingspan just flaps out and kind of expands to the side as Zephic grows massively, bulks out massively, and this kind of like black smoke starts to envelop her again, except for this time with this like little lightning strikes inside the smoke of like dark red. And Zephic is walking through, and you can have a little moment to, you know, shoot a line back at Jim in a second. Core turns her head to the left, and it keeps looking to the left, and the head like splits and extends, and one head with a long neck comes out, another head with a long neck comes out, and where the original head was looking, a disc flies in and settles just in front of her feet. She steps forward, and the entirety of her body just shifts as she steps forward, and the pink goes to, I believe it was like a dark. Yeah, the pink shifts into a dark, scaly blue. The golden armor and kind of crowns, head plates come back. She steps onto this disc, and it starts taking off, and she moves forward into the rift. And yes, if you'd like to shoot anything back, any final last words to Jim, feel free.
Yeah, Zephic definitely will. She'll look back through the hole and be like, "We're watching you."
Oh God. And Jim's eyes definitely go towards Kai, who becomes Cahor again. Maybe even looking a little disappointed when they become Cahor again. Who knows?
And she just says, "You know nothing, Jim Best."
And I think like, yeah, I think like Core is drifting slowly through inside with like the two heads on both sides, just looking forward, like scanning this world that you're going to. You've been there before. It's your home world, basically. And the middle head, like, bends up and round and back, and like gets right up in Jim's face upside down, and then just shifts around so that it's the right way up, and then says, "You know nothing," and then shifts back.
Fantastic.
And then, there's a rift in reality, which won't close for a little while, because Zephic is a battering ram. You don't fix a battering ram instantly.
Okay. I feel like I should put a cordon around this or something, but I'm just gonna leave it. And head towards the ship.
And let's end there. Wow.
Oops.
Thank you so... That was great, guys. Thank you so much.
Oops.
Oopsie doopsie.
So many oops.
Oops is right. Love that. That was great.
So, okay, let's go round and I'm still live, baby. Let's go round and say hello to everyone. Let's find out where we can find each other online, who we hey, sorry, my flow completely broke just then. Bleh. Blah, blah, blah. This is the end. Hey, thank you. This is the end of the show. So let's go around. Let's talk to everyone. Let's see who you are, where we can find you online, all the wonderful things that you do, and then so we can go and look at all the things that you do, and also tell us your favorite part of today's one shot. Let's go around. Let's start with Origami Shuriken. Oh, hi, Alyssa.
Hi. You can find me on Twitter, Discord, Twitch at Origami Shuriken. I don't usually stream anything of my own, but I always have artwork and play-by-plays of my home games that I post, and I frequently guest appearances on streams here and there, and I will usually try to make an announcement ahead of time. Yeah, writer, artist, storyteller, the works. And I really kind of enjoyed both of us demons getting to show off our, big, devastating, world-ending powers, and being able to use that line that I'd been saving up for the whole game.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones fan in me just you know. Damn it. Well, now Jim has a vice. Damn it. Next round, let's go to Raven.
Hey. So yeah, I'm Raven. I do a little bit of everything from writing to tabletop games as well. I just finished developing my own system called Fundamental RPG, which can actually be found on Amazon now. But I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/RAVVYN, and I'm on Twitter, which is RAVYN_V. I'm also on Discord, but Twitter's a really easy way to get a hold of me, and then get over to Discord if you want to talk to me there. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Awesome. And your favorite part?
It was all so much fun. It's hard to pick a favorite. Being able to do the crazy Zephic voice was really fun, and probably just utter destruction and chaos during the battle.
Yep. You guys are super powerful demons. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's nice when you play like RP shows and games, and you start off as like a really, you know, not weak but starter player. It's nice to sometimes just be like, oh, I'm super powerful and I can powerful enemies, and also I'm super evil, so I don't care about it. I'm just like, ah, ha, 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 sunbeam.
That was great.
Yeah.
I honestly have fear. So, yeah, my favorite part has got to be the completely unnecessary shot at the end there. And also, perhaps just Cahor in general. I love the way you interacted with Jim. Not to say I didn't love Zephic, it's just Zephic was terrifying. Yeah, with that I'll hand over to Sheepy.
Hey guys, I'm Sheepdog. I'm a 40k GM who has become an expert in adjusting his story to the choices his players make. This was not the plan. This was a direct correlation as to what happened last week. I messaged the players and I was like, yo, are you cool playing demons? And they were like, we'll try, and goddamn, you did an amazing job. Cahor, like, you were, like, I every time I looked over at you and you were doing like the bird looks, that's just amazing. And Zephic's voice was absolutely fucking awesome. I loved it. My favorite part was the fact of the entire show, just that you could come in with no knowledge of 40k and play the demons as well as you guys did. Like, that's amazing. So thank you. Because it was like right out of left field, kind of just, you know, curveball type thing for you guys, and you rose to the challenge very well.
Thank you.
And also your idea to eat the bird as it fell down. From a personal standpoint, I really enjoyed describing the demons and like their powers and how they shift and all this kind of thing, because honestly, the Chaos Demons are so fascinating. Especially, I love Sinch. If I would have had a choice on who Jim would have, you know, like, declared himself for, it probably would have been Khorne, just purely because that makes the most sense for Jim as a person. But I'm glad it was Sinch because I love Sinch. So. You're muted instantly, Scrap.
Thank you. I remember when we first started, and I started speaking with Sheepy about this, and I was like, so what, will we see Chaos Gods in this? And he was like, no, you don't want to see Chaos Gods. If you see Chaos Gods, you've really fucked up.
I mean, technically speaking, you didn't see Chaos Gods.
No.
you did see as close as you're gonna get. Like, the Lord of Change is the ultimate Tzeentch demon. And the reason there was a Lord of Change, our lovely Zephic, is because there were Grey Knights, and they're really, really, really tough. So I had to be like, I need something to deal with these guys who I brought on as kind of like a little bit of fan service, and then Scrap decided to make them his enemy. So here we go.
I actually did that before they arrived. To
Yeah.
be clear. To be clear.
But they were planned, and I knew exactly what was coming when you said I'd like to appeal to the Chaos Gods and also summon a demon.
Yeah.
And I hope it didn't show too much in my face. I think it did, because at that point I was broken. But I was just like, okay, let's see where this goes.
Cool. Yeah. Whoops. So everyone, please take a moment to check out our closing links as the bot spams them at you. All of our social links, places you can find us online. Sponsor information, please go and check out Mage Hand Press and Bird in the Storm Publishing. They have lots of amazing content for you to go and check out on their websites. And also 10 to 15% discount using special codes. And there's a bunch of other websites you can get that for as well. All the codes are below the screen in the panels below. You can see the various sponsor panels and go and check out their websites and use our codes. Our raid cry is going to be You Know Nothing Jim Best. And I think today we're going to go and pay a raid towards Rachel at OBaby190. If you're not familiar with her, you should be. She's awesome. She was you know, I called actual Rachel by this name for the whole season because I couldn't get out of my head not to call her character name, and now all I've got in my head is Simon, and I know it's not Simon. So I can't remember who she played. Suri and no, can't remember it. Gone. But yeah, she played in our Curse of Strahd campaign last season. It was wonderful. Everything's wonderful. There's no problems here. This is fine. Just a little bit of heresy. It's all great. Sophie, thank you, Mackenzie. Yes. Great. Well, everyone, we'll see you next time. Until next week, keep on evoking emotions, and we'll see you later. Bye.